Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Corner. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Urshan, and this week we are doing another subscriber contest entry. This is for Horrific Nightmares JM and his 900 subscriber contest. So, of course, first of all, congratulations to Jason on reaching 900 subscribers. That's awesome, and of course, you're well on your way to 1,000, and I know you'll get there. And you'll get there pretty quick. So Jason has two questions in his contest, and they're kind of multi-layered. The first one is, how do you feel about zombie films? Are you a fan? Yes, definitely I'm a fan of zombie movies. Or at least I am a fan of the good ones. It's kind of harder nowadays to find a good zombie movie, but you do see them now and then. Of course, I love these classics right here, the all-time classics, But you guys know I'm old school anyway, so I don't really like a whole hell of a lot of new horror anyway, but now and then there's a decent independent zombie film. Do I feel like the zombie craze is played out? Yes, I do to an extent. I do feel like there's kind of an oversaturation. And I think a lot of that has to do with some of these TV shows like The Walking Dead, which I liked at first, and then it got played on, it dragged on and dragged on, and then you have Fear the Walking Dead, and you have iZombie, Z Nation, and all this other stuff. I think that adds a lot to it. And then, of course, you have hundreds of these small independent zombie films, and it's really hard to find a good one of those too. So I feel like zombie genre could use a break maybe for a few years. They should just take a rest and then maybe come back strong, and then everybody be excited about it again, But yeah, I feel like it is getting played out. Number two is, what do I think about independent horror? Does it hurt the genre? So yeah, first of all, yes, of course I do like independent horror, and it does help the genre, in my opinion. Things are a little different nowadays than they were back, in the 70s and early 80s and stuff. Even back then, like independent, small, like low-budget horror movies, a lot of them got theatrical releases, where nowadays so many of them go right to direct-to-video and direct to the streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and all that crap. And there's just so many of them, and I feel like, yeah, a lot of the times the quality is just not there. It's hard to find one where there was real passion for the project, As Jason mentioned, Dave McDonough's film Groundhog, I did really enjoy that. So yeah, if you think about it, some of the best horror movies were independent films, like Halloween, and the original Nightmare on Elm Street was a low-budget, small, low-budget indie. It did get a theatrical release, but I would consider the original Elm Street an independent film. Because back then, even the independent ones still got theatrical releases. But yeah, I think it's definitely a positive for the genre, because, yeah, a lot of the ones you do hear a lot of buzz about, through us fellow YouTubers, a lot of the buzz that the vibes that they send out promoting these small independent horror films, I think helps a lot, and it gets a lot of us fellow YouTubers to see these films and review them on our channels and things like that, and get the word out there. I think that helps. Yeah, because a lot of times there are gems in the mess, you find the needles in the haystack, and those end up being classics later on, So yeah, it's definitely a good thing. It's always a good thing for the genre. Is it harder to find the good ones, the gems? Yes. Because I think there's just so many of them, and so many of them direct to video, and a lot of times, like I said, the quality is not there, but now and then you do get something like a Groundhog, where you had a director that really cared about the genre and really wanted to make something special, you know, that had a passion for horror. And that's always great to see. And meanwhile, in a lot of the mainstream, you got nothing but sequels and remakes and stuff, you know. So it's nice to see an independent, highly original film, you know, like a Groundhog. Alright, so that's it, guys. That's my contest entry for Horrific Nightmares JM and his 900 subscriber contest. And thank you for joining me, Sean Patrick Urshan, in the Horror Corner. Tune in and stay scared.